Hi friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the National Police Commission NPC recommendation. What is the significance of the NPC recommendation? What are the steps and reforms taken so far within the police institution in India? This video is especially helpful for students from academic point of view, especially for UPSC aspirants and for UPSC aspirants who have IPS as their first career choice preference. You might have heard about many commissions and committees set up by the central government. For example, commissions on center-state relations, interstate relations, etc. But many of you might not have heard about the National Police Commission NPC set up specifically to suggest recommendations for reforming the police force within India. Now, let's take a look at this NPC. What were the recommendations and the reforms taken so far in India? Before that, let's take a brief look at the origin and evolution of police as an institution in India. Many of you might be surprised to know that it was the British who started the police institution in India in the year 1861 through an law called the Model Police Act 1861. So why the British started the police? In fact, many of the institutions in India were modeled on British pattern. The judiciary, administration, almost everything. So the police was also started on the British pattern. But specifically why the British started the police force? It was a result of the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. You might have definitely studied this back in your school. So it was the first Indian War of Independence. The Sepoys, the soldiers, they started a revolt, a rebellion against the British. It was supported by the common people also in the year 1857. The British were in fact threatened. They were surprised by the unity of the Indian people, backed by the strength of the Indian Sepoys. So the British, they wanted to show the Indian people who they were. So they wanted to oppress the people. So for that, they wanted to start a force, organized force. So they started this force called the police. So the police institution in fact was started by the British to in fact threaten and oppress the Indian people. So this is how the police as an institution originated in India. So you might think like, so it was the British who started this institution. So like I said, most of the institutions were based on British lines only. So it is not surprising, even though the British started the police force for the wrong reasons. Later, after independence, our national leaders or policy makers, they amended, they changed the police force for good. They modified the police force to serve the needs of the common Indian people. So the police institution in India was changed into a benevolent institution to serve the needs of the people. This is what you should understand. You should also know that police is a state subject. There are three lists in the Indian constitution: state list, concurrent list and union list. The police specifically comes under the state list. The military, the army, navy, they come under the central list. But police comes under the respective state governments, which means that the respective states are responsible for the administration and conduct of the police forces. Generally, the chief minister or the home minister, he or she will have the police portfolio under his or her belt. So this is what you should know. Now, let's take a look at some of the problems and the important criticisms laid against the police force in India. Some of the main criticism against the police is that the police as an institution is still functioning in the same manner during British times. They are still having the colonial mindset. They are not respecting the people. They are not sensitive to the needs of the people. It is a common sight to see a policeman disrespecting a common man on the roads. So this is a problem. Apart from this, there is corruption, unfortunately, in the police department. There is heavy political interference in the police department. Apart from this, the inefficiency is also very high in the police department. And the overall functioning of the police itself is not in tune with the present needs of the country. So these are the general criticisms laid against the police. Apart from this, there are some structural and institutional problems also. One of the Main problem is that the police strength in India is very low. The United Nations, UN recommends a police to people ratio of 222 policemen per 1 lakh population. But in the Indian states, the police to people ratio is hardly 140 roughly for a lakh of population. This is very low. Apart from this, there is roughly 30% vacancies in the police departments. So, the police is already heavily burdened in India. They are already overburdened. This is the main problem. Apart from this, the police are not being given the proper facilities, the infrastructure, equipments, gadgets. They also lack proper professional training compared with other countries. Next, the pay scale of the police in India is very low compared to other countries, and among the Indian state itself there is heavy disparity in the salary, the pay scale of the policemen. Apart from this, the reorientation training is also not provided to the Indian police officers. The compartmentalization of police into various wings, criminal investigation, law and order, etc., is not being done in most of the police forces in the Indian states. So these are the various problems and criticisms against the police in India. Generally, the police is seemed or deemed to act in a insensitive manner against the Indian people. So this is the first thing that we need to change as far as the Indian police is concerned. On one hand, the Indian police should be a people sensitive force. On the other hand, it should be a resolute, efficient force. So this is what you should understand. Now, let's come to the main part. National Police Commission, NPC. After independence, many commissions and committees were set up by the central government to look into the performance and functioning of the police and recommend suggestions and solutions. So many commissions and committees were set up. The first major commission was set up in the year 1977. So this was called the National Police Commission or NPC. After this, many special expert committees were also set up. Robeiro Committee, Malimat Committee. In 2005, a special drafting committee was set up to frame a Model Police Act under former Attorney General Sorabji. So many expert committees were set up. These committees gave their recommendations and solutions. But the first important commission was the National Police Commission in the year 1977. This NPC gave many recommendations. In a span of 4 years, it gave out many Model Police Acts. Model Police Act means a model act that is given to various states in India. Based on this model act or model law, the state government should frame their own acts, which means that since the states are responsible for the police forces, they should frame their acts and law accordingly. But till now, most of the states have not implemented the recommendations of the National Police Commission 1977 and the later expert body set up by the central government. The 2005 Soli Sorabji, this committee came out with the Model Police Act in the year 2006. Even this Model Police Act is still not implemented by most of the states in India. So what you should understand is that despite a plethora of commissions and committees set up by the central government, most of the recommendations and suggestions are still not being implemented by most of the states in India. Now let's take a look at the important recommendations and suggestions given by the National Police Commission way back in 1977. The main reform suggested by the NPC was to convert the police into a people sensitive organization. The police should come out of its colonial mindset and serve the needs of the Indian people. So this was the major suggestion given by the NPC. Apart from this, corruption should be eliminated. The political interference in the police department should be reduced and eliminated. The professional character of the police should be strengthened. The various departments of the police should be compartmentalized separately. For example, law and order should be separated from investigation, and each wing should be given professional training, there should be accountability and transparency in the police institution. So these were the major suggestions given by the NPC. But like I said, after so many years, even till now, most of the recommendations are not being implemented. In the year 1996, a retired police officer, Mr. Prakash Singh, he went to the Supreme Court. He filed a public interest litigation to implement the police commission recommendations and other reforms and suggestions given so far. So he approached the Supreme Court itself. He asked the Supreme Court to give a set of principles and guidelines to the central government as well as the state governments. So as a result of this case, the year 2006, the Supreme Court came out with a list of guidelines and principles for the center as well as the states. So this year 2006 was a watershed in the moment of the Indian police. Now let me take you through the important recommendations, which are not actually recommendations, the guidelines given by the Supreme Court itself. Now let's take a brief look. This is very important, especially for UPSC aspirants and for aspirants who have IPS as their first choice. The first guideline or the principle given by the Supreme Court was to set up a state security commission for each state. So this state security commission will ensure the proper efficient functioning of the police force. It will ensure that the political apparatus does not intervene in the police. If there is a conflict of interest between the political apparatus and the police, the head of the police, the DGP, a proper mechanism should be laid out to come out with a decision. So generally, the security commission is meant for the overall proper functioning of the police to reduce corruption, eliminate corruption in the police department. Second is Police Establishment Board. The Police Establishment Board should be set up at the state level to deal with appointment, posting and transfer of police officers. So here also there should be no political interference. So here there should be autonomy and independence for the police forces. Next guideline, the DGP, the topmost officer in the police department in the state, should be given a promised 2-year tenure irrespective of his superannuation, and this should be also applicable to other senior police officers also. Apart from this, the DGP of the state police force should be selected from a list given by the UPSC among 3 senior most police officers in the state. So based on merit, the DGP should be selected. Apart from this, there should be a police complaint authority at the state level and at the district level. If any police officer is involved in any illegal activity, if there is any police excess, for example, torture of accused, custodial death and any sexual harassment, so complaints can be filed against the police officers themselves. So there should be a police complaints authority at the state level and district level. So this was also an important guideline. Apart from this, there should be compartmentalization of various wings of the police. For example, criminal investigation should be separated from law and order. Next, there should be a National Security Commission at the central level for appointments to the head of the Central Armed Police Forces like CRPF, etc. So these are not actually police forces. These were earlier called paramilitary forces. So these are the forces at the central level. This is not actually the police forces. They come under the central government. But the Supreme Court laid guideline for the central armed police forces also. So these were the guidelines given by the Supreme Court. Now, after all this, why the states are reluctant to bring in police reforms? Like I said, even till now, only a handful of states have implemented many suggestions and recommendations given by the various police commissions in India. There are many reasons for non-fulfillment of the reforms. One of the main reasons is that the political apparatus, they want to have a control of the police departments in their respective states. So this is a main problem. Like criminalization of politics, we have politicization of the police forces in India. This is one of the main problems plaguing the police force in India. The political leaders, the political parties, so the elected representative, they want to use the police force as a tool in their hands. So this is one of the main problem in India. So they are reluctant to bring in reforms in India. Apart from that, since state is state subject, so since police is a state subject, central government cannot intervene here and forcibly implement the reform suggested. Apart from this, the state governments have to spend much on the police forces, but generally most of the states are reluctant to spend on the police forces. Like I said, there are a lot of vacancies. The police are very low paid in India. So these are the many problems in the police forces. So the respective state governments should spend more on the police. They should heavily invest in police infrastructure. They should provide state-of-the-art equipments and gadgets for the police forces. They should give regular reorientation training. They should give state-of-the-art professional training to the police in the lines of countries such as Israel and other European countries. So these initiatives should be taken by the state governments. Apart from all this, the people should cooperate. This is one of the main problem in India. The corruption in the police force, a part is played by the common man himself. So the people should also play a main role here. There is a famous saying says that the people are the police, and the police should they should guide the people, and they are the friends of the people. So the police and people are in fact one and the same. So the people themselves are the police, but unfortunately in India, the people themselves are contributing to corruption in the police department. So the people should stop bribing the policemen. So the people, the common people, they should also play a main part. Apart from this, they should assist the police. So the people also have a main role to play here. I hope this video is helpful to you all. Thank you.